GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello and welcome to the 6th round of the Virtual V8 Supercars 2012 as sponsored by GamePod.co.uk, which sell wheels, race rigs and racing seats. In fact, the best in the world and the longest running manufacturer of such products in the world. I am joined today once again by Mr. Ivo Simons.
Evening guys.
Hi Ivo, and we're looking forward to a great race here today at the Pukekohe circuit, as you can see before you. And this circuit is now having its 3rd race here in the Virtual V8 Supercars, having been featured in 2010, 2011 and 2012. And we come off a great race, come off the back of a great race at Yas Marina, don't we, Toby? Toby. Ivo.
This is terrible. No, it was a great race indeed. 30 win for Talborg. It was great racing on the lights.
It was indeed. A 3rd win in a row for Jesper Talborg, looking to make it 4 in a row here, in fact, and the most anybody's ever won in a row in the V8 Supercars is 5, and that is Florian Strauss, who is 2nd in the championship. Jesper Talborg leads the championship by quite a considerable margin after events at the last round, Ivo.
Yeah, but okay, the season is not over yet. Just one mistake or just one incident, and he could have a DNF or something, and everybody can catch up. So it's going to be close still. Absolutely,
and those incidents that happened.
Yeah.
Some very strange incidents, in fact, I suppose you could say at Yas Marina. We saw Florian Strauss struggle with his pedals and then lose complete focus, really. And then having to quit with 3 laps to go because his steering wheel was just giving him no joy whatsoever. And also, he had to be away somewhere as well, so it's kind of a double-edged sword for him. So he had to, unfortunately, miss that event. And, well, he ended up being classified because it was 3 laps from the end, but only scored 11 points, so some 30 points really thrown away by Florian Strauss in the championship. Jesper Talborg holds that lead, as we were saying, but a resurgence for William Levesque at that last race, Ivo.
Yeah, he came back strong again. Just a good qualification against and pole position, and a good race from him. So yeah, he struggled at the other tracks before, but I think he is on a good run now.
It's on a good run now. What a pole position that was as well, Ivo, with a dying 2nd.
It was a very long track, but still was so close again, and this took it from Danny Asbury.
Absolutely, and of course that means Danny Asbury has the black headlights. You can see just behind William Levesque there on the track, actually, these two. Danny Asbury has the black headlights for just 1 more round, so after this he can lose those black headlights if he wishes, although we might put it to a fan vote, I think, to see whether he has to keep them or he loses them, so that could be fun. Kevin Brents had a bit of a poor round at Yas Marina after a great run at Hidden Valley, and is back at this track and looking good once again though.
Yeah, he had a good run at Hidden Valley indeed, but in Yas Marina he ran into some problems, but he really is known for his good tyre wear this season, so hopefully he can pull it through this round again.
And this is looking to be the strongest track so far this season for TPS Sim Racing's Gary Lennon. He struggled this season quite a bit. He's got his teammate in behind him there, actually, Lee Palmer, who's been struggling the season also, but Gary's running 8th in practice here at the moment, looking strong, and of course he's got 2 years of experience behind him at this track. In fact, you could argue he's got more than that, because of in World Touring Masters, of course.
Yeah, also, so.
Although he did crash, so I don't know how much experience that counts there.
It's still extra laps, but looks like he enjoys the short tracks. He did very good the ball together also, so he had some good pace there also. So maybe he likes the short tracks.
Obviously, the simple tracks suit him the most.
Yeah,
the less corners, the better.
Less thinking.
I'm sure he'll appreciate me saying that. Sorry, Gary. If you don't get a top 10, you're sacked. Anyway, Gary Lennon looking strong here at the moment. A couple of other drivers. You've actually got one driver who's promoted, who's never been seen in Division 1 so far this season. Oh! It's Kevin Enderman trying to make it into the pit lane. I don't know if he's trying to make it into... Oh! I do apologise, Kevin, that we've come and cut to you. Your first coverage ever on a live broadcast in the TouringProSeries, and you've been into the pit wall. I'm really sorry for that, but it's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. You can see the damage to his car as well. Look at that, wiped out the front end. But Kevin won the race at Yas Marina, fought off the challenge of Roy Schroten, who was not not a slow coach at all. So Kevin, we're looking for a decent result here. Perhaps get into the top 20. Which you can see he's got one of those half and half deliveries, Ivo.
Half and half.
It's pretty popular, isn't it?
It's like a little bit of Two-Face from Batman or something.
One for one side, speed on the other.
Yeah, it's like some nice confusion for us the whole time.
Absolutely. Well, of course, on the spotter guide, of course,
it's on one side,
yeah. The spotter guide is made by myself, and you only see the side of the car. So if you're looking at this side, you think, which car is that? You've got no idea, but now we've cleared up for you guys, obviously. You can just by at the bottom of the broadcast page. Sorry, go on ahead.
Yeah, no, it would be funny if there's Vodafone on one side and T-Mobile on the other side. But
not so allowed. If he was banned from doing that. Dan Esbury's been working his race pace a lot here at the moment, but I mean, he's on a 54.4, and if he was on a 54.0, he'd be in 7th. So that just shows that this particular track, a few tenths of a second make a big difference once again, Ivo.
Yeah, it depends a little bit, of course, if people are doing few runs also, because it's maybe mid to high 53s in quali and low 54s in race pace. So a little bit of guessing here.
Dennis has been, of course, a great performance, of course, at Yas Marina, great speed, but we've been complaining about his high tyre wear.
Yep.
And then he said, oh, at Pukekohe doesn't seem to be much tyre wear. And then someone pointed out that it was a second off the pace.
I think it was Navarro who said it, I think.
It was Ivan Navarro, yes.
Yeah.
He did say this. So hopefully Danny takes that on board and actually gets on with the job here today. And we're about to go into qualifying. Of course, this series is brought to you by GamePod.co.uk, and also at the end of every highlight, as usual, at the end of every highlight you can watch, you can see the I get my words out here, Ivo. 10% off all GT2 models at GamePod.co.uk. If you just watch the highlights, well, just skip to the end of the videos made by Yara Binari, and the code is there, for a special code for all V8 fans to use on their website, and they're still having 40% off shipping to the USA, so take advantage of that as soon as you can, as Toby Davis moves into 3rd place, just 5 thousandths of a second behind Kevin Brent. This shows how close this is here today. Kevin Brent's perhaps a bit of a dark horse here. Perhaps he's looking to stamp his authority finally on this championship, driver of such calibre. We're about to go to qualifying. As you can see, 20 seconds to go. Let's quickly talking around this track if we can. Let's find somebody who's out on track. Oh. There's James Johnson. He's just come through turn 1. Of course, it's long straight, Ivo.
Yeah, very long straight, and of course at the end is very slow hairpin.
Not a very long straight at all.
I think it's quite long.
Here is David Jones. He's out on track. He's just coasting around, I think, though. But you hit 280 kilometers an hour at the bottom of that straight, and then you brake for a very slow. Some people take it in first gear, but I think in race pace they'll take it in second gear just to save those tyres into that hairpin. Of course, we both raced here in 2010, but it's a very fun track, isn't it?
It's one of my favorite tracks, really. I like it in WTM, and of course in 2010 was with all the mod, which was more understeering. So
yes.
But I quite like it
as well. I must say I loved it until the until turn 4 on the final lap, and I span and I threw away a podium, which wasn't to be sniffed upon at the time because people like Ben Crooks and James Johnson and Mike Simon and Gregory de Grief were all taking part in that particular series, and I missed out on a podium in that, and typical Callan fail at the end of the race. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Now we're going into qualifying here, and pick a qualifying pole position man, Toby. Ivo, why am I calling you Toby here today? I've no idea. I've not commentated with Toby since I can't remember when, but never mind. pick a pole position man, Ivo.
Yeah, I go with Toby this one. So
going with Toby.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to go with VR.
Oh.
VR. Of course, VR, for those who keep track of our Facebook page, if you don't, then it's facebook.com/TouringProSeries, and make sure you click that like button. It is mandatory, after all. And you'll actually find comparison videos on there, and on our YouTube channel as well, which is youtube.com/TouringProSeries, all very easy to find. And, of course, Ivo puts them together. And those drivers, you can see those laps are all overlaid on each other. And Francisco Villa, in fact, was leading on his pole position, on his qualifying lap, at the end of that Yas Marina run, with 2 corners to go, he makes a mistake and throws away that pole position, so he could have had it, Ivo.
Yeah, I just missed that. I just disconnected from TeamSpeak, so I missed a bit of the story.
Yeah. It's okay, it was all about VR and 2 corners from the ends, and we almost had it. But let's stick with Jesper Torborg. Here we are, let's go on board with him. And this is turn 1. It's so very, very long, isn't it, Ivo? You have to get it right in and then come back across. And there's a curb there on the right-hand side, which you can clip, but it does push you back out again, which means you can also miss the camber for that turn 4 right there. And it's turn 4, there's 4 turns over with, just like that. And then it's an 8 before you get to turn 5. And here we go down towards turn 5. Now look at the speed the cars gather, 280 kilometers an hour, as you can see, before braking. Now down to 60 kilometers an hour for this corner here. Get it into that camber. Try not to spin the wheels up too much. Carry the momentum through the corner. Now come up through the hill, over this big bump here. In fact, you could go too wide through there. It's very, very easy to run wide on the edge. Clip across there, give yourselves much room for this beautiful corner here, but which you get sideways on the top of, which indeed Jesper's done also. And Jesper comes to the line, and his time is a 53.941. Be happy with that as a bank at the moment.
Yeah, it's a pretty good lap now. You see this V-line just going over the tarmac there. It's really difficult just to aim for the tarmac because you don't see it on the exit there.
You don't see it at all, do you? It's very unsighted.
Yeah.
But provisional pole position at the moment from Francisco VR, but we expect many drivers to go much faster than that. Jesper Torborg is already a tenth faster coming off that corner there. What can VR provide? He's a quarter of a second down. He quits at the end of that. So Jesper Torborg getting 2 laps off these tyres in qualifying trim. Of course, it's a very short track with not very much tyre wear because of all these camber corners. Oh, Jesper pushing so hard. The front locked up into that corner as he drifted around that hairpin turn, 0.173 up at the moment. This is looking like a very, very quick lap time indeed from Jesper. Just keeps it up, it'll be a 53.7. In fact, maybe a 53.6 if you can just squeeze a bit more on the exit here. It's very, very wide, and he's on the grass. He's going to lose time there, 53.714. It could have been a 0.6. It could have been a 0.6 if it were not for that small mistake at the end. Sure, John Wilson did that on his qualifying hot lap last year, in fact, actually. Qualified 4th, went on to win the race. And his one and only win in this series. And William Levesque didn't manage to complete his run. At the moment, Florian Strauss is in 54.4 in 8th position. We still got Lennon, Yunt, Asbury, McGregor, Butcher, Nicky Frey, Carlos Ortiz, Eric Tveit, and Ike Ruding, all yet to set a lap time. Andreas Loeffler, he's shown great qualifying pace and got better and better throughout the races this season, Ivo, don't you think?
Yeah, he's understanding the car more and more, of course, with more races, and his quality pace is always good because he can really push it. He just needs to work a little bit on the race pace and to keeping the tires intact. So
absolutely, he has got better and better. Of course, still finding himself involved in a couple of incidents here and there. But, it's getting close to being running solidly inside the top 10 for all the races so far. And they see there we go. There's a mistake there up ahead of us. That's by Danny Asbury, who's been pushing very, very hard on that lap, of course, and spun out. Danny Asbury is nowhere around the top 16 at the moment, so Loeffler drops down to 7th because Florian Strauss has come round. You see the load on the tyres round here, trying to correct the car as you come out of that corner as well. You're in 3rd gear, but you still spin up the tyre, such is the power of these cars. 650 brake horsepower, really insane machines. Callan Lennon there in 9th, David Junt in 11th. Let's go back towards the head of the field. Nobody's going purple at the moment. Kevin Brent is out on track.
Oh, yeah, McGregor
goes 9th.
Yeah. So important
checking with anybody here.
The bank in.
Villa's on a hot lap at the moment. Torborg is not. Kevin Brent is not. Levesque is on his hot lap at the moment. Maybe he's got a bit of a draft there off Tommy Ayala. Unless Tommy Ayala is just following him. And Levesque looks very slow off that corner there, just going to... Oh, poor Ayala got held up there, it looked like to me.
He needed to brake, even, so...
I don't know if Ayala was on a hot lap at all. If he was, then that was not cool there from William Levesque. Doesn't look like Tommy Ayala was too bothered about it. 8th place now for Gary Lennon. He's improved, so he's knocked down Eric Strani, who's become pretty much got the banner of the future of TPS, Eric Strani, this season with his stellar performances. Had a poor qualifying out to Yas Marina, but fought back very, very well in the race indeed. Ross McGregor goes 6th now. He's been showing good pace and improving constantly throughout the season also. Kevin Enderman goes 14th. Salsa Ferreira into the top 10. Francisco VR is on a hot lap. So is Toby Davis. Can he improve at all? No, he can't. He's obviously just abandoned that lap. Andries Loeffler goes 4th. There we go. Andries Loeffler goes 4th. 54.005. We were saying he's got the pace.
Good lap, yeah.
It's a good lap. Brent's still in 5th, just behind. Jesper Torborg still has a comfortable margin at the top of the timesheets here. 53.687 is the fastest we've seen from anybody at any point. Still waiting for laps from Eric Tveit, Colotol Teeth, and Aya Kironen. Of course, there's 14 minutes left, and it's a very, very short circuit, so that's not a big deal. See if they're out on track at the moment. There goes Aya Kironen now. Eric Tveit also on track at the moment. He's quarter of a second down after the first sector. And we've actually lost a driver there who's just gone out. I think one of the drivers who has set lap time just dropped from the server. He'll be back in a second, hopefully. Or Teeth is out on track as well. So everyone's out on track at the moment, trying to improve their lap times. Jesper Torborg can't improve his. Kevin Brents goes up into 4th. He just bumped Andries Loeffler down. Improved by just 13 thousandths of a second, but it was enough. Get him onto the provisional second row.
Yeah, it's of course very difficult to. It's quite busy on track now. Just if you're lucky, you can have a good draft without people holding you up a little. So you can really pull it off. So
all about timing.
Yeah.
As is all racing, of course, and there's more than just timing your exits and your apexes. All about timing your position on track. Ayala goes 8th. That's a great lap from him there. Chris Butcher goes 11th. And Eric Tveit goes 12th. In fact, Eric Tveit was 11th just for a few seconds there because Chris Butcher knocked him back down to that 12th position. Toby Davies, will he improve? He will not. He's struggling to get towards that 53.8 that he knows he can do. I'm not sure he thinks he can outpace Jesper Torborg at the top of the timesheets. Jesper 0.036 down after that second sector. We're much cleaner out of the final corner this time around. What can he do? He's crossed the line? No. Perhaps that run off on the grass helped him.
Yeah, maybe more speed, but no, I don't think. I think he lost more there. But
more than likely. Nobody's improving at the moment. All very much status quo. Seems like the calm before the storm here, Ivo.
Yeah, people need to get in the groove and just be happy if they put a bank lap in and then doing some laps after each other. So then you probably see it coming down like always at the end session.
Everyone just getting comfortable, it seems to me. Who's not performing at the moment? Nicky DeFrey just getting out of the way of William Levesque there. Levesque quarter of a second down after that first sector though. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag there to improve. Ross McGregor's down to 10th already. He was up in 6th, of course. Chris Butcher now improved to 9th. He's improved another couple of places. Strauss is still back in 11th at the moment. This track was not kind to him last year either. And then goes up to 12th. Adrian Holmes to 17th. So people in the mid-pack are moving, but nobody in the top 10 just at the moment. Walker Clinton, Churcho bringing up the rear at the moment.
Hugo Gomez
tight all the way down to about 21st position at the moment. Sorry, Ivo.
Yeah, and Hugo Gomez is also. Levesque.
Levesque has improved.
Nice.
In fact, without that poor first sector, he was just 2 thousandths of a second slower than Torborg and the rest of the lap. So, he's pushed too hard that time around also. If you just sort out his first sector, he'll be right there with Jesper. And that's not going to be good enough this time around.
That's a quite difficult sector also. Just goes from left to right to left, and you need to really be in the camber, and then with all the speed out of the corner for the long straight. It's quite a difficult section.
It is indeed. You're absolutely right, and it's tricky just to flow the car through there and not load up the tyres too much. They completely overheat and you lose all the grip. And it might seem like it's only a couple of corners, but that's also one of the key skills there. Salsa Ferreira into 12th. 7th place now is Florian Strauss. He's improved. Just find another 10th though, and he'll be up to 3rd. Levesque starts again. What can he do? Go on board with him on the rear wing. Round turn 1, look at those tyres turning as much as they can. Now hit that curb there, slide it in. Try to miss that curb there because it pushes you back out again. We just clipped it a little bit into the camber there. Flow the car out without spinning the wheels. Not on the grass though, and cost him precious few hundredths of a second. Flashing his lights there to Hugo Gomez ahead of him just to move over, and he did so. Maybe he should have waited to flash, and we would have got a small slipstream from the Portuguese driver. Flash of flame as he dips into the hairpin, spins the car around, didn't look very tidy at all through there. William Levesque towards the second sector line, 2 tenths down. 2 tenths down. Of course, if he keeps 2 tenths down, he will still improve, however. His lap time, Francisco VR, 7.92. Toby Davis, 8.89. So, Davis, for the merest of a smidgen of a second, was in that second position. Now he's back to fourth because Levecka's improved. So Jesper Torborg did lose time through that final sector because Levecka is able to beat him through that. So it's all up for grabs.
I think Vila had a good draft from Toby Davis.
Yeah, must have done because he crossed the line at pretty much the same time, didn't they? Just one behind the other.
Yeah.
What can Brent do? He's in that first sector now. Blowing the car through, look very, very neat and tidy through there. Look like excellent practice for his race, perhaps not scintillatantly fast. And he pulls across and not happy with that. Has he slowed down? He hasn't slowed down, I don't think. Looked like he did for a second. It looks like Jesper Torborg is very, very quick through that first sector, and of course lost it in the final sector. Everyone seems to be a couple of tenths down in that first sector. Strani up to 7th. 4.009. Yes, Brent did slow down. Was not my eyes deceiving me. I'm not going senile just yet. Maybe Starborg is in the. He can't match his first sector time and then improves on his last sector, but yeah, equals out. Still the same time then. So he needs to have the equal time in the first sector and then improve in the last sector. So. Was Brent's got this time around? Looked like he was pushing harder through there, and indeed he was. He's only a tenth down, and that's good because Jesper Torborg's been scintillatingly faster there. I don't seen anybody come within 800ths of him. I know that seems like not very much, 800ths, but that's a huge amount on this particular track because 800ths is what separates first and second at the moment. Pole position and second place. Brent's just put a wheel on the grass, but it might pay off actually because he got lots of speed around the edge of the corner there, which can be a plus. 0.291 down. If he can just improve by half a tenth, he may move up in the standings.
Wide here, no.
It's gone wide though. Lots and lots of understeers. The car struggles for grip on the adhesion, and no, he didn't quite improve. It's costing him 2 tiny mistakes. Inch of wheel on the grass in the final corner, in the hairpin, and of course running wide in the final corner as well.
It's really important.
Maybe it's the third. Look.
Nice. Oh, geez, you're really close. Again.
1/100th of a second. I love it! So, it's a THR duel at the top. In fact, the top 4 positions are all THR at the moment. Torborg, VR, Levecka and Davis. THR are taking over the sim racing world at the moment with their huge amount of talent and hard work, and it's really paying off for them.
Where's Strauss?
Strauss is 8th at the moment.
8th. Oh, there he is, yeah. Sorry.
Just improves by a tenth, and he's up into 5th. It's going to be improved by 10th and a half into second. No, we're still 300ths of a second slower than his own lap time.
He doesn't need to have pole because we know he starts by now. Just really the last 2 events is really.
But it would be nice to be higher than 8th.
Yeah.
2 tenths down at that first sector. It's not too shabby, of course. Just match Torborg through the rest of the sector. He will be fine. Of course, he's been struggling all season with this tyre wear. Having to change the way he drives and the way his hardware handles. Never mind, he's trying to find speed as well to keep up with the THR crew. Strauss got his 4 tenths down in that sector, so he's just going to practice his pit entry instead, I think. Pit entry is quite tight here, as Kevin Enderman demonstrated at the end of practice there. Tommy O'Hara is in 9th at the moment. He'll be pleased with that.
Why is he going into the pits?
He's found he was too slow through that sector and just started to practice his pit stop at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Torborg! We missed that. Torborg has got a .610. That's it locked up. No one's going to beat that.
No, I don't see it happen now.
Yes, but Torborg has got pole. That's all over.
Let's a prediction.
And they were both wrong there. My prediction is that nobody will beat that.
Yeah. Vila is closer than Toby, so.
Yep. I think I'm winning a little bit, but VR is nowhere near in terms of Pukekohe lap times. Unfortunately, 0.18 of a second behind. Beck Levesque is in third. He's coming back out on track also. Again, Toby Davis is trying. I think they're all racing for second position at the moment. Kevin Brent's also trying. Andres Lowe's back in the pits. Eric Strahan is coming out as well. There is Florian Strauss. There's Tommy Oyala and Ross McGregor. And Chris Butcher out on track as well. What's Chris Butcher got for the end of this lap? Was it 9th before?
Oh, barely. No.
11th. No, he's
I'm not for still 6th.
Lothbury still in that 6th position. 54.005. Of course, he's just 0.005 of a second ahead of Florian Strauss, and now Brent has gone ahead of Toby Davis. In fact, by less than a thousandth of a second. Ivo.
Yeah, you can see. Blink of an eye, something like that. That's the blink of an eye. Blink of an eye.
That's 200ths of a second. We've established it's quite a bit less than a blink of an eye.
But I blink very fast, so.
You blink very fast, okay. Yeah. Like you drive, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Hope you start that blink of an eye stuff again. Jesper Torborg, he's still on that pole position, of course, and I think he's just resting in the pits. No one's going to beat that. If I was Jesper Torborg, I wouldn't be going out once again. You can see the different techniques. In fact, that corner there is actually quite similar to the corner at Simmons Plains. Not quite as cambered, but the Simmons Plains we go to next. Those who know it, turn 1, 2, 3. Turn 5 on Simmons Plains, down at the hairpin, very much cambered, and you can run right around the edge of it and kind of use it like a half pipe and carry momentum off.
Yeah, it pulls you out again then, yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit like that. And Francisco Villa pushing very, very hard through that section there, clipping the curves very hard indeed, just 0.07 down on Jesper Torborg. Ross McGregor goes 6th, so he's bumped Loeffler down finally to that 7th position. Eric Tveit is just 0.5 off being in that 6th position. He's just gone into that 10th place. What's Francisco Villar got on this lap? Looks like quite a quick lap at the moment. Nice apex there. He's gone for a little bit of a different technique.
Looks very good.
196 down still. Just improve on Jesper Torborg's time. It looks like Jesper Torborg not quite so fast in that first sector on that particular hot lap, because Levesque has gone faster than him, and Villar was quite close on that lap as well. And Villar, will he improve? No, he will not. Nowhere near improving, in fact, in the end. Quite disappointing there, but Levesque. Now Levesque, can he do what he did at Jasperina? Can he take that last gasp pole position? 0.144 down. Looks unlikely, but anything is possible. This French-Canadian has gone through a meteoric rise in the past 12 months. And he's driving now towards the line. Levesque goes second. He goes second. Front row, Torborg and Levesque. First and second place in the race at Jasperina, of course. And Francisco Villa back down to third. He's back out again to have another crack. He'll get one more lap in. Kevin Brent will get 2 more laps in. Got traffic ahead of him though. He'll be hoping that Tomasz Malizewski moves over. Of course, Thomas is on a hot lap as well. He's not, obliged to do so. Brent's right behind Tomasz Malizewski, and see the difference in speed through that corner there. And Brent is wide of the curb. Might give him no, it's not going to give him a good exit. He's clipped the curb on the exit. It's 4/10 down. He'll now just travel around, try and get some space, and restart again. Giving a nice draft there to Adrian Holm. Adrian Holm was well up in the field at one point, but now he's back in 18th at the moment. Just find a couple of tenths, he'll be way up the grid. In fact, he'll be 11th if he just finds a couple of tenths. And Kevin Brent, he's not moving over for Adrian Holm.
And it's quite difficult to find a couple of tenths here. So
it is. Brent's keeping his foot to the floor, making sure he gets to the grid, the line for another run. Here he goes. Who else is out on track at the moment? Jonathan Ockerklin.
The fastest first sector.
Fastest first sector, apparently. I think that might have been a cut through through these corners here, as you can see. It's quite a bit. And again, Brent is just trying to go for perhaps the draft, because he's caught right up to Tomasz Malizewski again, and he's trying very, very hard. He's only a 10th down, and maybe the draft to give him a bit of space to a bit more effort to go there. And his car's smoking as well. He's really gone for this as well. He's really gone for it on the radiator settings, coming down towards the hairpin here. And Malizewski's not giving us any space at all. And Brent's down the inside. He's got it stopped. That's phenomenal. He got that stopped just then, because it was such a tight line. And he's 2 tenths down. He's 2 tenths down, which will give him 4th place back on the grid, away back from Toby Davis again, who has improved. And Kevin Brent's driving towards the line now. Final lap to be set by Kevin Brent. Can he improve? No, he can't. Not quite. Not quite. He tried it. He tried the audacious slipstream manoeuvre, but it's Jesper Torborg who takes that pole position. Well done to him by just over a tenth from William Levesque, and that's a fact. Jesper Torborg, that's the fastest time we've seen at any point during the past 2 weeks. Congratulations to him.
You don't see that often, that people are improving on their personal best, because it's quite difficult to do that in a qualification session after so many practice laps.
It is, of course. Of course, you're in an environment where there are lots of other drivers and a very short amount of track in this particular case. Lennon goes 11th. Lennon, the specialist at timing his last run so that he finishes last in the qualifying session, and he's gone into that 11th place. And he'll be pretty happy with that, actually, considering his race pace is usually better than his qualifying pace. So 11th place will suit him pretty well. But here is the grid at the moment, and it's Jesper Torborg for THR Orange in the Teams Championship, but it's the THR first 2 rows really dominating here. Levesque for THR Red in 2nd place. THR Green is Francisco VR. THR Orange is Toby Davis. Of course, you can tell the teams of THR by their livery colours. It's not very complicated at all. Kevin Brent is in 5th place. Of course, he's independent since O5 Motorsports withdrawal from the championship earlier this season. 6th place, Ross McGregor for Black Visor. His teammate Yves LaRose is in Division 2 for this race. Hopefully Yves can have a bit more luck than he's had in the past few races. He's been besieged by bad luck ever since the 2nd round at Barbagallo, and he was involved in that Asbury Gate. 7th place, Andreas Loeffler. Great performance on him. He'll be very pleased with that. I think that's his best qualifier of the season thus far from him.
I think so.
8th place, Eric Strani. He'll be quite pleased with that, considering he often races better, which is unusual for a driver as young as him. Florian Strauss is in 9th. He'll not be particularly happy with that, but he's been having quite a few issues with his car. 10th place is Eric Tveit. He'll be pleased with that, although if you looked at the live races page, Ivo, he does have a 53.4.
Yeah, so it's you wouldn't be happy now.
Of course, those who don't quite know what we're talking about, he did actually miss the first sector for that particular lap.
Probably, yeah, something like that.
Naughty Eric. 11th place, Carrie Lennon for TPS Sim Racing. 12th place, Tommy Oyala. So 10th and 12th, line astern on the grid will be Eric Tveit and Tommy Oyala. 13th place, Chris Butcher for THR Red, teammate to William Levesque. Not able to hold a candle to his speed so far this season, but we're pleased with that because he's not had much practice for this event. 14th place, David Yunt. 15th place, James Johnson for THR Precision. His teammates are Peter Davila, who's unfortunately not here today. 16th place, Bruno Salsa Ferreira. Manizewski, we saw at the end of that session there for PCGC Nissan. 18th place is Adrian Holm. 19th place is Lee Palmer. Quite happy with that in the top 20. And 20th place as well, Kevin Enderman. He's in the top 20 for his first appearance in Division 1 this season so far. 21st place, should I say. We've lost it, I apologise, I've lost the grid. There we go. 21st place is actual Kiwi, Andy Johns, so he's racing on his home track. So he'll be hoping to go well in the race here. 22nd place is Carlos Ortiz, welcome back to him. He was in the in Division 1 for Hidden Valley, I believe. 23rd, Nicky Dufresne. 24th, Hugo Gomez. 25th, Ike Röding, who actually injured his eye just before the last event, that's why he was not there. So glad to see he's back and feeling much better. 26th, Giuseppe Churchill, and 27th was Jonathan Oka-Clint.
I see Holm again 18. Well, he was 18 at Yas Marina, right? Probably.
You got a better memory than me then. If you remember that, I really cannot remember myself.
Like well, he was also at the back at Yas Marina, but we saw how he improved there. Of course, this is a shorter race, but
there's plenty of places for overtaking here, isn't there?
That's true, yeah.
as was seen at Pukekohe in World Touring Masters Season 2.
Yeah,
the second race here.
Still nightmares here.
We've got some nightmares here, but I think it's probably counted as Anders Nielsen's favourite track.
Yeah, but the Holden Power there. But I remember it was a good race there with 10 cars. We all were really close with Alphas, with Sierras, and then all different cars were together on that long straight the whole time, and just the whole race long.
Was an excellent event here in World Touring Masters, an excellent event in 2010 as well, even if I do say so myself. And 2011, of course, we had a classic with John Wilson, maiden win here, and perhaps we'll see a maiden win in a TPS from Kevin Brent here today. What do you think?
You never know. It's just like Formula 1 these days. You never know who's going to win, because it's a big group who can win, and the tire wear is important, and so you never know. And Pukekohe always provides good racing, like we know.
Absolutely, and of course, Francisco Villar has won in the TPS before, but he's never won in the Virtual V8 Supercars. So he'll be looking to try and put that right also. There is Francisco Villar, just coming through the shot. Nice timing, Francisco. And we've got, of course, Kevin Brent there on the right-hand side. I'm going to go for one of those two to win the race. I'm going to go with Villar to win the race.
Did you? I don't know. I'll go with Levesque, I think. Yeah.
Going Levesque. Ooh.
Yeah.
Levesque for his first win in the Virtual V8 Supercars. In an official event, anyway. He's 4th place in the championship. He's 3 places ahead of his kind of big rival, Eric Strani. And now the grid is going to form up ahead of the race here. Here is the grid now forming up.
We need to give those young guys some white cars or something, just like the Tour de France. Just all the young guys, and then who's the fastest get the white car or white jersey.
Rookie of the year, and here they are now setting off on their formation lap. Can Toby Davies put to bed his V8 Supercar hoodoo?
He always can, but you never know. But yeah, maybe he has a good start, but it's quite tight here on the start, so it's really difficult to gain some places, I think, at the start. We'll quite a bottleneck, but you never know. And 53 laps, so...
And we'll have the start of this race right after this.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
And GamePod.co.uk is the choice of champions, and looking so far this season, Ivo, it looks like it's the choice of Jesper Torborg.
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
Of course, if Jesper wins this championship, it'll be his 4th TPS championship. Quite incredible. He has an ATCC title to his name, an AGTC title, a WTM title, and may now have a VV8S title. Of course, he'll stand for American Touringcar Championship, American GT Championship. Despite the fact he's not American, he is from Denmark. Of course, WTM is the World Touring Masters, Season 4 of which will start in late September. So look out for that also.
Oh, lining up now.
Forming up now. Hopefully they do a better job of forming up than they usually do. Here they are now. That's a better shot. You can see all the way down the grid. Just forming up in the background there.
He's a little. You see, it's all the way into the corner there. Bit.
On the back of Toby Davies's car in 4th place.
There they are, Villar.
Villar's now in place. The revs are rising. You see the car shake. And away from the grid they go. And it looks like Jesper Torborg with a good start. Villar's coming across, and Toby Davies is going to be close into that first corner. Let's go into the TV cam now. They go around the corner. It's going to be Levesque who's leading. Oh, Strauss is wide in the background. Davies gone through, and Villar also. Brent's into that 5th place. Where has Strauss? Strauss is in 9th, and just Loeffler's back to 12th. Loeffler's in 11th actually, in fact. Yeah. He's actually come backwards. Here he is. Here is Loeffler. He's not had a good start at all. He started 7th and he's dropped back. Florian Strauss didn't have a good start either, but he's managed to gain that position over Andres Loeffler. Tveit into 8th though. Levesque leads.
This corner. Got a bottleneck here. Everybody coming to
let's try and
stand still.
Oh, there is Tveit and Strauss hard in battle, and here he goes. Loeffler around the side of Chris Butcher. We've seen this before on the first lap of a race, which resulted in a huge accident at Hidden Valley.
Oh, goes deep. Oh,
there's side.
No.
Contact. Oh, round goes poor Andreas Loeffler.
Oh, he saved it. He saved it.
He has saved it. He's kept it out of the wall, and people are going wide on the grass there. bollards flying everywhere. Loeffler saved it. He is back in 23rd, but at least he's got no damage. That was incredible stuff there. Looked like Oyala was excited coming over the crest of the hill as they went side by side with Butcher and Loeffler. But Loeffler's back in the grid, in the field now.
Butcher and he looks
like damage.
Too deep. No, I don't think so. Yeah, maybe on the rear, but
maybe on the rear, but that's obviously from the contact before.
But the Oyala went too deep and just much on the inside.
Just stuck his nose in there. There was no space to be stuck in at all. The vet's got a big lead at the front of the field, look. Some 1.1 seconds over Jesper Torborg. Toby Davis is in 3rd. 4th place is Francesco VR. VR looking very menacing, going towards the edge of the corner. He's going to get a good exit off here as well. Oh, not quite able to do so, but he's gained on his team boss for this particular series. Kevin Brent's running solidly still in 5th. Ross McGregor in 6th. Eric Strana there in 7th. Eric Tveit running wide in 8th. Oh, he's gone deep into that turn as well. Strauss going to try and go around the outside of Eric Tveit. But Eric Tveit, who's been nicknamed Nearly Tveit lately, as he's just holding off Florian Strauss at the moment. It's Strauss that time who nearly got around the Norwegian. Lennon and Butcher hard in battle, and Oyala is backing up the pack here because there is Sousa Ferreira and Junts and Churchill. There's Palmer and the rest of the gang coming through. Down the inside is going to go Ferreira and take the forceful move. Goes off the track there. That's Butcher off the track. Yeah. Butcher's gone off the track. He's going to drop way down the order now. In fact, he may drop back into the clutches of Andreas Loeffler, who may give him a bit of payback, telling what he thought of it because it's Oyala's fault. And David Junts now has got the run off the corner. He's going to come on the inside, and there's De Frey running wide in the background again. Palmer right in this battle, 3 wide into the first corner. This is not going to end well. Oh, contact! Oyala's lost 3 positions in just a few corners. Oyala dropping back.
So close here.
Through goes Ferreira, through goes Junts, through goes Palmer, there goes Churchill wide as well. Where is Chris Butcher? There's Chris Butcher. Right in behind Nicky De Frey, trying to get the run on the Belgian driver. Down the long straight they come. In behind them is Andy Johns. There he is. On board with Chris Butcher going down into the breakers. Oh, was hitting Giuseppe Churchill. Well avoided there. Threaded the needle between the Italian and the Belgian. And he's not got 2 positions though, because here comes Nicky De Frey back. Contact in the corner there as he chops off Chris Butcher, and Chris Butcher almost spins.
Oh, it's gone down, guys.
Just touching the back of Giuseppe Churchill. They all survive through there. Giuseppe goes wide also. Butcher comes through on Nicky De Frey. Crazy stuff with this mid-pack at the moment as they all settle themselves down to the positions that they think they should be in. Johns is there. The Vex still leads by 1.1 seconds from Torborg, from Davis, from VR, from Brent. Davis and VR must have come into a bit of a fight somewhere because they've dropped back in the clutches of Kevin Brent and dropped off the front group, and VR's gone past Toby Davis. And Davis got back at him on the exit. Oh, what's going on there? That's crazy stuff. See that on the replay. Here we go. It was side by side into the corner. I'm not going to see it, unfortunately. It looked like Davis ran very deep on the inside, and VR tried to do the cutback, and of course Davis then hit his teammate. Back to live action now, and Brent is looking menacing behind Toby Davis. Can VR now sprint away from Toby Davis and catch those 2 in front?
Yeah, Torborg is just at the fastest lap also, so showing his pace at the moment.
Taking just 0.2 of a second on the back in that first sector as well. It seems to be Torborg's strength is that first sector, and Brent's right in behind Toby Davis now. On board with Kevin Brent, the American. Side by side with Toby Davis, as you can see, going down into the hairpin on the outside. Who brakes later? Kevin Brent is braking later. Will he get the run around the outside? No, he doesn't. Try to do the cutback. Not able to do so though. Slots back in behind, but he's going to have another go. Brent's looking very racy here today, and it's great to see.
Oh, it's a good run from Toby there. Oh, really good.
Grass, it slowed him up. Of course, Brent's looking menacing once again now. And if Brent needs to keep it nice and tidy through this section here, and have the run and the slipstream, of course, on Toby Davis going down the main straight into the hairpin, which is the key passing opportunity. And looks like he's got a good sprint out of there, just about.
So important to hit your lines there and just a good run on the straight, because you can win so much there.
Looking back over the game pod wing on Toby Davis. Not Kevin Brent. Brent's not able to gain that much down the straight. Will he have a dive? Will he have a dive? No, he didn't look how much of the road he was using perfectly on that white line there, Ivo.
Yeah, it's the first rule of use all the road. It's important.
Oh, here's a battle. Here's a battle. Ross McGregor with Florian Strauss and Eric Tveit right in behind him. But Strauss is through. Strauss has finally got past Eric Tveit. Eric Strani's dropped back. In fact, Strani was in 7th, wasn't he? And Strani's now back in that 10th place. You can see just in behind Gary Lennon, just in the background, just about to see over the top of the aerial and a couple of other cars.
These are the big battles you don't want to be in sometimes.
It's enormously fun, isn't it? But it's detrimental to your race because
yeah,
you start getting
extra tire wear and everything, and you lose time, and yeah.
I wonder if McGregor and Strani got into a bit of a battle because they were much closer to Brent. And now they've dropped back by some 5 seconds from that big battle. A big train of cars here, all very, very close indeed. All the way back, it seems like to...
McGregor has
all the way back, basically.
McGregor has no draft from no one, so...
Yeah, that's the big issue as well. If you're ahead, of course, then you're just taking it back to you. And Tveit, very nicely, just slipped down the inside of reigning champion Florian Strauss just then. And very, very close between those two. I thought Strauss touched the back, perhaps, of Eric Tveit through there, but
goes to white here.
Goes to white there. It's just understeered through there. Now Strauss has got the run. Tveit goes defensive. It's quite dangerous, actually. In fact, going defensive off that corner because
on the outside.
Across, and Strauss around the outside. Oh, have that, he says. I'll in the move. Oh, Strauss straight across. Now Tveit's trying to come back at him. Will Strauss give up the position? Because technically he has not lost the position because of that. And Tveit just chopped off Gary Lennon there. Calm down, boys. Looking back from Tveit on Gary Lennon, and he might get a bit of a serve up here from Gary Lennon for that.
More than 40 laps to go.
And Tveit's going deep. He's trying to go down the inside of Strauss. He is trying to go down the inside of Strauss. Contact. Strauss holds it though.
Strauss really wants to pull away just from one lap, just that he is clear.
Yeah, of course McGregor is loving this because he's pulling away from this group now that they're battling, rather than them using his draft to pull them all along with him. And it looks like it's all calmed down just at the moment. Here is Palmer and Yunt. Palmer having a great race at the moment, qualified in 19th, and now improved to 12th. Oh, almost contacting the back of the Swiss David Yunt just then.
Brent's second sector is the fastest now.
Brent's trying to apply the pressure to Toby Davis, but not quite able to do so to the extent they can get past.
Probably
Adrian Holm.
Probably has good draft from Toby then, because it's for his second sector, because the second sector is almost the whole straight.
And Andreas Löffel is not making the progress we thought he would make through the field here. Got his lights on also as well at the moment. Not quite sure what that's about.
Not sure, because
perhaps you could whisper to him, Ivo, to let him know. Oh, he switches them off now. There we go. Oh no, it's still still on. In fact, actually, he must have just put them on by mistake and not noticed. Jonathan Ockerklint is in 24th, and Enderman and Gomez are bringing up the rear at the moment. We did have one of the driver, didn't we? For sure we had 27 for this race, but we've obviously lost somebody. Not quite sure who that is. Before the race started. Vec and Tolborg still leading this race. Here is the French Canadian. Lap 11. Looking for a one-stop race here. Around about lap 25, 26, 27, maybe 28. So look out for that. It's 53 laps, of course. It's completing their 11th lap. Still 42 laps to go.
Bradley Vanian said Ortiz is out.
Ortiz is out, of course. Ortiz is out. That's a big loss for them, of course. Bradley Vanian is the head of Optima Motorsport, who team owner of Optima Motorsport, who Carlos Ortiz drives for. So that's a big loss to them. VR's not able to gain on this group at the front, but he's not losing much time either. Maybe a few tenths here and there, but basically able to do a decent job. Looks like Toby Davis got the car turning very well through the middle of the corner at turn 4. Sound like a NASCAR analyst there. Kevin Brent, it's rolling very well in the middle of the corner, and it's loose off. No, Kevin Brent looks like he's got a bit more understeer through that section. His car looks a bit more stable, perhaps, and perhaps that will pay off later in the run. Brent's right. Oh, Brent! Oh, just about held on to that then. Almost. Those 650 brake horsepowers sent him off the track. Strauss also with the same problem, as he's got Tveit still behind him. He must be sick of that by now. One driver you don't want behind you, it's Eric Tveit. And Strauss made a mistake there at the final corner as well. Tveit a run? No, Tveit not able to take advantage. Lennon's still got Strani in very close attention indeed. Lennon running 9th at the moment.
Like we said, always moving up the grid in the race.
Let's go on board with Ross McGregor. We can see the whole battle unfold from here.
Not a nice view, I must say, if you look in the rear view mirror. The whole pack behind you.
I mean, who would you prefer to be? There goes Tveit!
On the grass there.
Out on the boundaries of the track there. Strauss squeezed him as much as he could. Down into the hairpin we come.
Does he have very low wings?
Has it? No, because Strauss will get the cut back surely. No, but now they're saying,
Strauss there!
There we go! There goes Strauss! Bosh! Into the wall.
Oh, he lost his bumper, I think.
Strauss not be happy about that. Strauss still trying to get going. Where is he out of the field? 20th. There goes Matizevski 21st. Here comes Churchill and Loeffler. He just lost it under power there.
Oh, yes, damn it.
His car's all over the place. What on earth has happened to his car there? Loeffler's still got his lights on. Oh, and Strauss is off again!
Oh, yes,
what's happened there?
Probably
his problems at the last race. And he's just destroyed his car against the wall there. And is that his race over?
Yeah, I think so.
That will be his race over. There he goes, pulls it off the track.
Looks like his wing was, the hit was not that hard at the end of the hairpin.
No, it didn't look like a particular huge amount. But Loeffler's still with his lights on. He's getting a message to him somehow.
Yep.
Vec 1.1 seconds still ahead of Jesper Torborg. Very stationary gap indeed. It's going to be a great drive so far from Levesque and Torborg and VR. In fact, if VR hadn't been held up by Davis in the first few laps, he would have been right with those guys because he's keeping station. That gap is keeping station at 3.7 seconds. Davis and Brent. Now Brent has the run. This is Brent's opportunity, surely. Davis goes to the inside, and now Brent's around the outside. Will Brent's get enough of a run though? Oh, it's not quite enough. Brent's going to have to brake later and around the outside, of course. And of course, Davis can just ease his car out. Brent's looking for the cutback. So I think he's just letting Davis get the position again. Davis struggling here at the moment. Perhaps Brent's just waiting for Davis's tyres to go off. It's lap 15 now. We are 2/3 into the first stint almost. Oh, and Davis drops a wheel again.
Brent's is putting some good pressure on him.
Absolutely, this is Brent's best run of the season so far, without a doubt. He got a 6th place, of course, at Hidden Valley, but he was nowhere near the big boys. And he's near the big boys here today, of course. He's a big boy himself. Pretty famous throughout the world of endurance sim racing. Put him in a P1 car, and you see fireworks. Ross McGregor now has a 1.4 second lead over Gary Lennon. Now that Strauss is out of the way, it seems like all the group has dispersed. Looks like Wright must have made a mistake at some point, because now he's going back into the clutches of Eric Strani. These two young Scandinavians, both showing lots of speed. Of course, Strani is the one who's shown more maturity throughout this season than Eric Tveit. Of course, Strani is a little bit older than Tveit. Now Juntz has the run on Junti, not Juntz. Juntz has the run on Eric Strani. And right there it goes, and a nice slide past there from David Junt. Lee Palmer, Chris Butcher. 11th and 12th, 13th place Tommy Oyala, 14th is Adrian Holm. Let's see the movers and shakers so far in this. 4 places up the grid for Gary Lennon. The grid 8 places. The best drive so far has been Lee Palmer. It would have been Chris Butcher, I think, but of course he made that big mistake out of the hairpin. David Yunt up 5, Nicky DeFrey up 7. Again, racing well, racing very cleanly. Got a very calm head on him as Nicky DeFrey. And there he is. He's got the local Andy Johns in behind him. Andreas Loeffler, of course, is the one who's dropped the most. He's dropped 17 positions. Poor Andreas.
Yeah, he just dropped again 2 positions for some reason. But before. And,
yeah, it looks like he's really struggling. He got some damage and it was dropped back. In fact, he's back to 25th now. Where on earth is Andreas Loeffler? Let's go back to. Oh, press the right button. There we go. Back to the standings here. Andreas Loeffler. Here is Johnson just trying to make a move on Andy Johns. There we go. Johnson down the inside of Andy Johns. Johnson hasn't had a very strong race so far here today either. He's on up to 17th now. What's happened to Andries Loeffler? There he's in the pits. So he must have had some big damage somewhere. Perhaps he dropped back through the field and then got some damage while he was involved in a battle with people, because he's in the pits a long time also.
He's missing his mirror on the right, I think, or...
Yes, he is, you're right. Good spot. And he's still in the pits, of course. Oh, there he goes. 41 seconds, that's conducive with the suspension repair. So his race really has been ruined here today. 1.7 seconds ahead of Jesper Torborg now. Going the opposite way of what we thought, and VR 4.1 seconds ahead, so 4.1 seconds behind, so Levesque putting the hammer down, but he's made a mistake in that first section. It's immediately back down to that 3.9 again. Brent has got past Toby Davis now also as well, so after all of the watching and tracking we've seen of that, we've actually missed it in the end. I do apologise for that. But Brent has got past Toby Davis. Finally, spent the best part of 15 laps in behind the Englishman. He'll be hoping to press on now. He just gets a good pit stop, he can get right up with those guys.
Let's see if he can pull away now. Quite interesting what he can do now.
Lap 19, of course, just about 8 laps to go until halfway. Until the first pit stops will come around. McGregor in a lonely 6th at the moment. He's had plenty of company before, but I'm pretty sure he's happy that company has left him for the time being. And his good friend Gary Lennon is behind him in 7th. Strani in 8th. 9th place is Eric de Veit, so Strani's got past Eric de Veit. 10th place is Lee Palmer, having a great run here today. It is fantastic stuff. Qualified 19th, up to 10th, and really flowing around the circuit at the moment. Goes right there just as I say so. 7th and 10th for TPS Sim Racing at the moment. Team Boss is happy, Ivo.
Yeah, it's time.
There's time for it all to go wrong. Thanks for that, Ivo. I'll make sure you race for TPS Sim Racing.
Don't forget you are racing for TPS Racing in the World Supertech Series, so...
yes, there's time for that to go much worse than it's going right now, to be honest.
Also, then.
Yes, I do. And Danny Esbury will be racing with me in that particular series. Looking forward to that. Of course, the World Supertech Series is using Game Stock Car this year, so if you are interested in racing Game Stock Car, and you should be, quite frankly, Evo, because it is a wonderful game, isn't it? And we're running on Friday nights, suitable for Europe and Brazilian times, and it starts 20th of July. So if you want to sign up for that, go to the Touring Pro Series forums, which is just touringproseries.com/forum, conveniently enough, and click on the World Supertech Series and sign up. And we're also running a game stock car competition, aren't we, Evo? So if you don't have the game, but you want to compete, you can win Game Stock Car in a hot lap competition around a Trackmania track for rFactor. That is, you can find details of that also in Touring Pro Series forum. As Palmer makes a move here, Eric de Veit try and go up in to that 9th position, not quite able to do so.
Yeah, the 5 pushing to the left.
Oh, there's David Jones.
Okay. Yeah, some behind there, yeah.
David Jones. Is David Young pitted? He's back in 23rd. David Young must have gone for a 2-shot strategy here today, because he's pitted right behind these guys. He's shown his 23rd at the moment. 1 lap down. There is Hugo Gomez, way round the track ahead.
He did a 139.
139. That's a pit stop, isn't it? He's made a pit stop. But that's
and also did the 120.
The only driver who seems to have gone for a 2-shot strategy, apart from Andries Loeffler, of course, although Andreas, of course, maybe had some damage, but VR is beginning to lose touch. 5 seconds is now the gap. He's lost a second and a bit in the last 2 or 3 laps. Brent's is holding station though. In fact, he may be gaining just ever so slightly on the drivers in front of him.
Oh, and the Butcher is passed right now, and
everything. Battle here. Palmer into the pits goes. Ockerfen's ahead of them. Palmer's up to 9th. He's got ahead of Eric de Veit, and now Butcher at de Veit. De Veit goes deep into the corner, and now here comes David Juntz. David Juntz not for position, of course, but he's on a different strategy. And now the 3 wide coming off the corner. Butcher ahead of de Veit. Butcher's gone up to 9th, so de Veit fighting for 7th earlier on is now back to 11th. And David Juntz almost making contact there with the Norwegian. Of course, Juntz will have much better tyres at the moment. Adrian Holm is tacking onto the back of this group as well. Once again, Adrian Holm racing much better than he's qualified. Just saw his qualifying pace, and he'll be a stellar racer indeed. But Butcher's got ahead now. Lee Palmer's up to 9th. Superb performance so far from Lee Palmer. Easily his best race of the season so far, and the same for Gary Lennon as well in 7th place. Bit of the Ryan Callan magic from 2010 has helped them out, obviously. McGregor is still that lonely 6th place. Brent is keeping pace with Levesque at the front of the field, but VR is dropping pace, lost half a second on that lap. Almost 2 seconds behind as well. Can't seem to close the gap at the moment, because this will be the point you expect him to close the gap. Yeah,
if he looked after his tires, then he probably should gain now. But
this is where he's been pouncing, in the early races this season so far. Right at the end of the stint, the final 5-6 laps, which will be maybe the 7-8 laps in this particular track, because it's so short. But he's not been able to do so, Ivo. So maybe your prediction.
Levesque, yeah. I said Levesque, so.
You did say Levesque, so therefore he will win.
And then Villa is of course to a podium. Like you said, he wanted one podium for sure.
Yep, 5.6 seconds now behind. Lost a 10th on that lap, but it's not a huge deal. Brent's actually gained a 10th on that lap. So once again, in fact, Davis has ruined the race for a couple of drivers here who've lost plenty of time being stuck behind him as Brent's almost got out of shape there. Looks like those tyres are beginning to lose grip. Butcher and Strani in battle here. Strani's into the pits, I think. Yeah, is Strani in the pits? I've lost him.
Yeah, he's dropping.
Is he disconnected?
Where's
he gone? I can't see him on this timing screen at all.
I saw him drop on live races, but
has he lost connection? Because
is he now?
I saw his car disappear before when we were watching him and reappear again.
I don't see him on live races, so I saw him drop a little, and now he's gone.
Had 27 before, of course, as well. Where on earth is he?
I think he disconnected.
Oh, he's in 8th at the moment. Sorry, we're being thick. He's in 8th apparently.
He pops up again. No, he pops up again now in live.
Oh, there we go. So obviously he's having some connection issues, but rFactor being rFactor, oh, he's having some bad connection issues. Look at that. So Strani's fighting a little battle of his own there to try and keep his connection going. Keep our eye on that. And look at it, it's all over the place at the moment. Everybody else absolutely perfect.
There's a big battle going on between Yala, Holm and Johnson. I think some are pitting or something. Or
nobody's pitted at the moment.
No,
of course, those couple of weeks we talked about.
Racing.
Yeah. And Levesque is pitted though. Levesque is into the pits.
Yep.
So here comes the race leader. Long pit lane here. Looks so slow, doesn't it? VR in also. So they're trying the undercut perhaps. Brent is not pitted. As is often the case with Brent, he does stay out a bit longer. Salsa Ferrari and Eric Tavares are pitted. They're in and out. Pitted on lap 26. We're on lap 27 now, of course, with Jesper Torborg. There he is. There's Levesque pulling into his pit stall here. We'll keep an eye on whether VR can gain some time here. Just over 5 seconds behind when the pit stop. Oh, it's okay. It's just in behind. It's okay.
Yeah, I saw him pull him up. Yeah, in the tires. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. There's one.
One for Levesque, 12.2.
I think he gained Levesque.
His team produce 13.2. So he's lost a second in those pit stops there. Unfortunately.
And looked like
to gain that back.
It looked like Levesque was a little bit faster off the pit stall also.
It also looked like VR was a little bit tentative coming out of the pit lane, hoping not to get a pit lane driving penalty. Into the pits now is Jesper Torborg. Toby Davis carries on. He's leading this race. Brent's into the pits also. Down to 12.7 seconds. Davis leads though. Here we go. Lennon into the pits also. Following my advice. Told him to pit lap 27.
So slow.
It looks so slow, doesn't it? It looks like it's like 40 kilometers an hour, which is, if a car went past you on the road at 40 kilometers an hour, you'd know about it still.
It's like a circus, a children's circus ride or something.
John's again staying out. We've seen this throughout the season as well. Johns goes very deep into his stints. Likes to run very long in that first stint. Haven't really seen it work out for him, but perhaps it will here today. We're getting plenty of glory time on his own track at the moment. In 3rd place, Manizevsky in 4th, Ruding in 5th. So those are the drivers who haven't pitted. Gomez also hasn't pitted, but he's out of sync and was a long way back anyway. Rebecca Corrado pits ahead of Jesper Torborg, and the gap. What's the gap going to be? The gap is
almost the same, I think.
5 seconds.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
5 seconds. It was gained 3 seconds in that pit stop. And will that put Torborg under threat? Kevin Brents is... Brents got ahead of VR as well. VR's dropped lots of time also.
Sideways
there. Shape. VR's dropped lots and lots of time. Being that slow coming out of the pits, I think. Almost made contact there with squeezing each other against the apex. VR trying to get back past. Now Brent and VR. Oh, there's Ockerclint off the track again. He's having a torrid time here today. As Gomez goes into the pits. This is the battle for 3rd place overall. 3rd place net. Where is Toby Davis? They're going to go past him here now. There Davis comes out of the pit, so he's lost time also. It looks like Levesque is the only driver to have a good pit stop there. He's timed it well, had a good pit stop, and now he's got 6.2 seconds, 5.8
I'm not sure
lead.
what Talbot did, but it was, I think it was an okay pit stop. It's not bad or something.
It wasn't bad, and of course there was the undercut, of course, Levesque staying out that 1 lap longer,
yeah, but it was
which maybe gained him a second on the track, at the very, very most, but...
Yeah, it's a short track, so it's not really extremely much to gain, so...
Whatever it is, it's worked. As the gap is now 5.9 seconds. Brent's still ahead of VR. VR is a frustrating VR here because he wanted to tack onto the back of Torborg and Levesque, and that's poor pit stop and poor exit from the pits. It's really cost him here. I suppose it's better than getting the pit lane drive through. Davis has dropped well back also. McGregor is now in touching distance of him as a result. Gary Lennon also. Johns is still not pitted.
Where's Palmer? He's 16 now. Oh, they didn't pit.
16.
Okay. Didn't pit, I think, then.
Well, he must have pitted.
Yeah, there's some other guy.
Only Johns hasn't pitted.
Yeah, only
Johns.
Then, yeah. Okay.
So Palmer's had a poor pit stop there. Johns comes in now. Oh, pushing as hard as he can, getting the car slowed down. And another slow down as you get around the corner. There is the actual pit line. So they can't jerk around. And Levesque now reassumes the lead of this race. And we'll look at the gap as he comes over the line to Jesper Torborg. The field has now been cleansed. Here comes Jesper. If he wants to make it 4 in a row, he's going to have to claw back a 6-second gap.
What was the gap again at West Marina after the pit stops? Because there he gained also quite a lot.
Yeah, it's about 3 seconds, I think.
Seconds, yeah. It looks like Levesque has also good tire right now. So
he does, doesn't it? Looking difficult. And Levesque has gained 3 seconds on Brent as well, so I didn't just think Levesque has just done a sterling pit stop there.
Yeah.
He's got the look with the faster pit crew as well.
Yeah, it looked compared to Villa, it was quicker, but
it was a second quicker in the pit stop than VR. But I also think that Levesque was much braver coming off the pit lane. I think VR waited at least 10 or 20 meters too much before putting the power down off the edge of the pit lane.
Yeah.
And that's cost him. Now he's in behind Brent's also, not just in time, but of course in track position. And Brent and VR have been very close to match here today after Brent's got past Toby Davis. So this is the battle.
Oh, first lap.
The race from Kevin Brent's also. He means business.
Gonna be a good battle.
0-6.
Guys fighting for the podium, for the first podium, right? Benner Brent's also. Gonna be a first podium.
Yeah, absolutely. First podium in the V8 Supercars and first podium in the TPS for Kevin Brent's. Taking him 6 races to get there, to get into the groove, to be able to challenge for that podium, but he's right there now and looking promising. VR must have set a fast lap time then also as well, because he didn't seem to lose very much to Kevin Brent.
I can take a look. Yeah, he was 2 tenths slower.
2 tenths slower.
Yeah.
But obviously that means he matched the lap time of the leader. He might do well just to stick him behind Kevin Brent here actually, and just use the draft and let Kevin hold him along.
Yeah, but it's not really too close in the corners. He's maybe a bit too close to, because it will hurt his tire wear.
4.4 from Levesque that time around. He's dropped 2 tenths on Jesper Torborg. Of course, Jesper needs a bit more than that. Battle is still ongoing.
Maybe traffic.
Perhaps traffic. I can't. Well, there's Ruding. Perhaps he just passed him.
Yeah. Depends. So it depends on where you catch the back markers. Of course, you want to catch him on the straight there. Just have a little draft and put it on the inside.
Well, where are the battles on track at the moment? The big loser in that pit stop shuffle was poor Lee Palmer. He's dropped back to 15th when he was up to 9th. I think maybe he was actually in 10th just before the pit stop started. So he's dropped back 5 positions. 11
to 15 is a good battle. Johnson, Strani.
Yeah, they're all quite close, aren't they? There is Johnson. Oh, he's right behind Tommy Oyala now. So we've got the NFS guys 9th and 10th. Johnson right in behind. Strani's lost out in the pit stops also. You've seen he's been having difficulties with his connection here today. He'd just be glad that he's in the race if he knows about those connection issues.
Oh, there it goes.
You can see, there it goes again. It's the connection right there. It's not him driving off the track. And he lost on the scoring. He lost 2 positions as a result as well. So that'll be all over the place for him. Here comes Junt and Sousa Ferreira. Junt's on a 2-shot strategy, I think. So I don't think he's going to be a factor in this battle at all. 5.8 seconds still the gap between Torborg and Levesque, and Brent has lost plenty of time on that lap to Levesque, the leader. Some 0.8 of a second. So perhaps
goes deep.
Oh, that was ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Thankfully, no damage caused at all. In fact, it's Ferreira who's going to lose out because Palmer's now crawling all over him. Oh, it's close. Rally outside Palmer. That was brave. Now inside the final corner.
Oh, so scary.
That is very, very fast indeed. Still contact. Oh, the barrier. Oh, Palmer just clips it. Oh, that could have been so much worse. That could have been huge.
Yeah, it's such a scary corner.
Such a scary corner.
Yeah, just put it down the inside. It's very tempting if you see somebody just not hitting the apex there. You think, oh, okay, I put it on the inside there. But he always
did have the overlap before the corner as well, so he felt he was entitled to go for it. But that could have been massive. That could have been a huge accident involving 2 or 3 guys. Johns is in 16th. That's paid off for him, in fact, I think. That strategy, because he was in 18th before those pit stops, behind Defray and Johnson. So he's gained 2 positions in that pit stop shuffle. Of course, he's having a little bit better tyre life now as well, so he'll be fancying himself to get up further in the field. Palmer's got up to 14th. Who have we lost? Who have we just lost, Ivo? Oh no! Oh, it's Eric Strani again, playing havoc with our timing. I do apologise, guys, for getting all excited about things not actually happening. But Levesque is still leading by 6.6 seconds from Jesper Torborg. Levesque is putting on a masterclass here today.
I had a feeling before the race already.
Did you really?
Yeah. I must say,
I did tip him for the win at the last event, so I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that.
Yeah, but I think after the last 5 events, I have chosen the correct one the whole time.
Well, by saying Jesper Torborg wasn't really sticking your neck out, to be fair. VR's got past Kevin Brents. Here we are. VR's got past Kevin Brents, and he's down at the head, I believe. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the replay. Textbook manoeuvre, a little bit of lag involved, but you will see the end of it. Oh dear. There we go. There's the end of it there. Brent's gave him plenty of room. Oh, VR didn't give him any room though. And 2 hard races there coming off the corner. VR's through, and Kevin Brent's been struggling for pace in this second stint, in fact, it seems to me. Oh, Brent! Oh, how close do you want to be? There is Kevin Brent driving in that Coca-Cola skin. He does say he prefers Pepsi. Doesn't seem to mind driving that Coca-Cola skin. It's brought him plenty of speed so far this season.
Whoever pays, I think, for sponsoring.
And Jesper Torborg was now 7 seconds behind William Levesque. Just hope that Levesque is not pushing too hard, because he's got a big enough gap just to ease back. There's Kevin Enderman just coming out of the pits, I think, getting out of the way of drivers there. Now VR behind Brent. In that slipstream, not thinking anything's going to happen there. Davis, very lonely 5th place. 6th place as well, very lonely for McGregor. Very lonely for Lennon as well, but I'm pretty sure he's happy with that. Holm also seems to be on that 2-shot strategy because he's...
Now you had a very slow pit stop, 42 seconds, I saw. When you did the pit stop.
So, Holm was lost over a lap in the process of doing that. Butcher now, here he is. There goes Loeffler, just getting out of the way of Chris Butcher. Loeffler's having a terrible race here today, unfortunately. Still plugging away though, still trying to pick up the positions. He's up to 24. Yeah,
it's the best thing to do because you still get points, but yeah.
You get points all the way down, absolutely. We do like to see commitment as well, don't we, Ivo? It's and the spectators and the fans who are watching as well. We don't appreciate people who are flimsy and just give up after one race. David Greco. Yep. We like people who like to put the effort in and actually stick it out, even though they have a bit of bad luck.
Yeah, but I must say, Loeffler does it always. He always finishes seasons.
That commitment is key. Oh, and out of the race. Malezewski, in fact, I've been told off for saying he's doing wrong lately. It's Malezewski, and he's out of the race. There goes David Jons for his second pit stop.
Yeah, he was barely close with Jons. Very close.
Poor Tomasz is out of the race. David Jons into the pits. But that said, that means he's cleansed now. Palmer's up to 14th now. Salzburg out to 13th. Brown is still in that 12th. Here comes Strani now, trying to having a look at Tommy Oyala. Tommy broke very efficiently and very late there. Strani's just been off colour the last couple of races, not able to continue that good progress he's shown throughout the season. Johnson's up to 10th. Device gap to him. Chris Butcher very lonely as well. All very quiet out on track at the moment, apart from VR and Brents, and try and keep our eye on that. Trying to see if find a battle throughout the field. Here's Giuseppe Church. I've not said much about him throughout this race so far. He's in 17th though, which is a decent run actually, considering where he started from. It's at 17th place, right behind Iker Röding. So he sniffs the 16th. 18th is Hugo Gomez. 19th place is Kevin Enderman, doing what I said he probably wanted to do, and try and get into that top 20. 20th place is Adrian Holm, trying to get past Lennon so he can get to Kevin Enderman himself. Nicky Frey in 21st, David Jons in 22nd. This two-stop strategy is not working for him in the slightest. Doesn't seem like to me. Loeffler there, still plugging around 24th. On 25th is Jonathan Auckland, also plugging around, showing that commitment. But he's been woefully off the pace so far this season, whenever he's been in that Division 1, unfortunately. He just pick up the points, make sure he does well. He's been Torborg still over 6 seconds behind Levesque, and the only battle really on track at the moment is VR and Brents, and unusually for this particular track, Pukekohe is quite spread out.
Yeah, it's a bit, I think just Strani just overtook Oyala also, but yeah,
we missed that typically. So all the action the few action is going on, we're missing.
Yeah, you were doing a little rundown, so I thought I saved that one.
You say that one to it's way ahead of Oyala now, in fact, actually, and I wonder if he can catch up to James Johnson. There he is, just ahead of him, going round the penultimate turn into the final turn now, where Eric Strani would like to improve and get into that top 10. I appreciate being beaten by the other young Scandinavian, Eric to right. But still, Levesque puts on a masterclass here.
Yeah, really masterclass, really. Like I said, I expected him to be for a win, but I mean 6 seconds to Jesper Dalborg, and just showing good tire wear and everything. So quite surprising still.
We'll go for an onboard lap on him in just a second.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing, puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
So welcome back to Pukekohe, and it's William Levesque who is leading the field at the moment, the Clio Euro Series champion. He's leading by 6.5 seconds from Jesper Torborg, the championship leader. Levesque looking for his first Virtual V8 Supercar win.
The update from the Server 2, Matthew Barron is leading there.
Matthew Barron just doing one guest drive in the summer. Might do Bathurst also as well, but of course he's very, very quick and showing those Server 2 guys how it's done. On board with William Levesque for this lap as we promised. A couple of laps here considering how short this track is, and he's right in behind Lee Palmer here, who's in 4th place.
Oyala's bidding for some reason.
Oyala's been to the pit, 6 second pit stop, so perhaps he's miscalculated fuel, because that's a very quick pit stop.
Like that, eh?
And Palmer just eases out of the throttle and lets William Levesque go past. Levesque still 6 seconds ahead of Jesper Torborg, and this is the first time this season, apart from the first race, apart from the first 2 races, sorry, should I say, that Jesper Torborg has been threatened in his supremacy at the top of the V8 Supercar world. Strauss won the first race, Stoffel van Dorn the second race, improbably holding off Toby Davis for 61 laps. Jesper Torborg has won the 3 since then. Looks like here today he's going to be usurped by William Levesque as he makes his way through his turns here. There's turn 4, exits onto the straight. Now going to build up to that speed of 280 kilometers an hour.
taking the fastest second sector also. That lap before. Still having some good pace.
Car shaking as you go down into the braking zone there. Such high speed it is.
Oh, Johnson took Divide.
Johnson had to Divide. Divide must have made a mistake there because Divide had a decent lead.
Yeah, we lost 2 seconds, something like that.
Johnson up to that 9th place. He's raced pretty well. After a poor qualifying once again. In fact, in 2010 he didn't manage to finish this race because Ben Crooks lost control of his car. His steering wheel broke. Lost connection through the USB, and Ben Crooks T-boned him at some 260 kilometers an hour and took James Johnson out of the race. Destroyed both of the races there and then. So I'm sure he's happy that Ben Crooks isn't racing here today. Kevin Brent's right in behind Francisco Villar now.
Really close now.
Very close indeed, and this is where Brent started to really put the pressure on Toby Davis in the last stint. And Davis is gaining on these guys also. So if they battle, Davis will be right there. Oh, he's only 2 seconds behind Villar, 1.7 behind Brent.
Yeah, if they start battling very hard now, Toby Davis can catch up.
Very, very close there as well. Once again, going into that turn.
This one isn't over yet.
Isn't over at all. Just 6 laps to go here though. Which means just about 6 minutes of racing, and this is where VR needs to make Davis off the track, pushing as hard as he can, try and keep up with these guys. And Ruding is now ahead of these guys. Will he be a factor here? Will he just try and get this is when you're a back marker, you know someone's trying to lap you, just try and as hard as possible, try and go through the corners as fast as possible so you can get out of the way on the straights. In fact, what's happened is Ruding has gone faster than VR, and now Brent is under pressure, and it's a double slipstream he's getting here. He pulls out! Oh, VR! They're both on the grass! VR and Brent! Oh, almost contact once again. We saw that earlier when VR was trying to pass Brent, and side by side into the hairpin. Ruding is out of the way, scared. Very scared indeed, in fact, I would guess.
That's good racing there.
Great racing there. It's almost 3 wide in the corner with poor Ike Ruding caught right in the middle of all that. And Brent continues to put the pressure on.
Yes, the pace. Yes, more pace.
The track again. Brent has the pace. Oh, Brent's pulled out. VR's not trying to defend it, but of course, contact! Oh, that was almost disastrous there for Brent.
That's happening a lot.
His team
this race.
Davis, in fact, coming to a sticky end at that particular corner last year. Oh no, it's in World Tour Masters Season 2, should I say. Came to a very sticky end at that particular corner, but still Levesque leads, 6.6 seconds, about to go on to his 49th lap. McGregor is just 2 seconds ahead of Gary Lennon at the moment. 2.3 seconds ahead, so McGregor's losing time to Lennon. And Strana's got past Tveit also. So, it's definitely Eric Tveit who's struggling here at the moment. There is McGregor, there is Lennon, so not far behind at all. These two are very good friends, often practice together, share setups and the like. Chris Butcher, he's in 8th at the moment. He'll be pleased with that considering the lack of practice and the preparation he's had. And behind Gary Lennon is Tommy Oyala, who was running in the top 12, 13, 14, but made a pit stop. Seemed like a splash and dash. It's only 6 seconds long. Well, Lurfer's out of the race. Suspension damage. But he's had a torrid time here today. Qualified 7th, so showed such promise. And it's such a disappointment he's not able to bring that through.
That's the whole season already. Just luck is nothing on his side. He has the pace. Also, last race, I think he was top 10 in the qualification.
Yeah, he was. He's been top 10 plenty of times this season in qualification, in fact. And it's unfortunate for him. It really is. Of course, the points are paid on race day. In the race, there's no points for qualifying or no points to do the fastest lap. It's all about getting that car to the finish, and the battle between Tommy Oyala and Adrian Holm here for 19th place.
Almost lost second in the second sector.
He was held up by one of the drivers who made a mistake trying to push as hard as he can, but it's just 3 laps to go. And I think it's all over, bar the shouting. Because here is Levesque. He leads by some 7.9 seconds over Jesper Torborg. It really has been a phenomenal run here from William Levesque so far. in this race. Just looked under control, smooth as anything all throughout the race. Got the jump off the start and has led the race ever since. THR are occupying 4 of the top 5 spots on the entire podium at the moment. There goes Auckland off the track. Once again, unfortunately, here's VR and Brent still hard in battle. I think Brent is going to get a bit impatient at some point and give him a bit of a nudge, or else throw it down the inside. Of course, they're both very clean racers. Very assertive clean racers, I must say, both of them. They don't give a very fair and very clean, but very hard. No quarter is given and no quarter is taken or expected between these two.
Brent knows that line now. Just on he wants the inside, really.
Look at this, swerving around there. That's at 280 kilometers an hour, changing direction, and he can't quite get the run off the corner. It's a very curious corner there. It doesn't matter if you do the cut back. The drive on the inside can still do the same kind of thing. And VR's running wide at that corner there. Brent is going to get the run again. Oh, this is just incredible stuff here. There comes Brent on the inside. Again, chopped off. Brent has to get on the grass there to try and avoid the back of the Portuguese's car. On the penultimate lap now. Here goes Brent. There we go. That's the run there.
He needs to have the inside.
Exit. Here he goes now, though. This should be a good run.
Yeah, he wants the inside, and VR knows that.
Of course, that's it. Of course, as well, the track just naturally goes to that side as well. That's the problem, and that's the natural racing line for all of them. Brent's around the outside. Will he make it stick this time? He's gone deep. He's gone too deep. He's gone too deep.
Oh no!
On the brakes he is. Oh, VR just says, "I'll just nudge you to the edge. Thank you very much."
And it can come to the last corner.
Yeah, hold on. But it is the final lap of the race. Here is William Levesque. We're sticking this battle with VR and Brent just for the time being. Again, Brent gets to run off the corner. So much better through that final corner. Again, he can't quite seem to make it way fast. Oh, it's contact. Here we go. Here we go. Brent is forcing way up the inside. It's almost contact there as VR comes back at him. Oh, Brent is through. Brent is through. We'll have to leave it for a second though, because Levesque is going to complete a masterful win here. The French Canadian was superb in the first race of the season, switched to a new race rig, a new setup, and was off colour for 2 or 3 races, but has now come right back to form. Second place at Yas Marina. He challenged for the win all the way there, got pole position, but now here is William Levesque's debut win in the Virtual V8 Supercars. Well done to William. Superb performance there, has seen off the championship leader Jesper Torborg by a massive 7.6 seconds here. Third place is going to be Kevin Brent. Just got past Francisco VR. Well done to Kevin Brent. That's his first podium in the TouringProSeries and VR's best result of the season so far also. 5th place will be Toby Davis. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Not able to match the pace or the consistency of the drivers ahead of him. In fact, his team boss, but of course his drivers performing brilliantly here. 6th place for Ross McGregor. He'll be very pleased with that also. 7th place Gary Lennon. Best result of the season so far for him and for TPS Sim Racing. 8th place Chris Butcher, he'll be pleased with that. 9th place is James Johnson. 10th place Eric Strani. 11th place is going to be Bruno Salsford. A bit of a quiet driver in this race, Bruno, but he's going to come across the line. 11th place, he looks worn out. 11th place across the line, the final driver, not a lap down. 12th place, a lap down in the end, was Eric Tveit. Really dropped off in that at the end of that second stint there. 13th place Andy Johns. That's a great result for him. Really it is, and his home track. 14th place was Lee Palmer. He'll be pleased with that. Considering he's running in 9th place, he might be a bit disappointed, but if someone offered him 14th place before the race, I'm sure he would have taken it. 15th place Ika Ruding. 16th place Giuseppe Churcho. 17th was Hugo Gomez. 18th place Kevin Enderman. 19th place Adrian Holm. 20th was David Junt. 21st, as everyone congratulates each other, 21st Tommy Oyala. 22nd Nicky DeFrey. 23rd Jonathan Ockerclint, the final driver to finish the race. But a superb performance there from William Ivo. I mean, that's absolutely flawless. Pit stop, start, laps. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and the tire wear and everything was okay, and it really pulled it off. I expected him to win before the race, but not that much.
Always playing that card, eh? Always playing that card.
I expected it.
He expected it. And it all came true for Mystic Evo.
But still 8 seconds, well, 7 seconds to Jesper Tarborg. It's a great race. Very consistent also.
Very consistent indeed, and very well done to William Levesque. And we are joined now by the race winner. Your first race win in the Virtual V8 Supercars, William. Very well done to you. How does it feel?
Woo! Damn. That was a pretty good race. It wasn't exciting, but it was, I think, well, racecraft, so to say.
You performed superb. I mean, the start, the pit stop, the consistency, the speed, it was all there for you. It was, I would say, probably you would say a perfect race.
Pretty much. I only missed pole and fastest lap, which I tried to get 2 times and missed by a few thousandths. But no, I'm pretty happy about it, and it was about time, I guess.
Well, of course, you've come back from a difficult kind of... Well, you started very well, and of course had a difficult rounds 2 and 3, but you've come back with great pace here. I mean, how have you managed to bring it back from the struggles you had, you know, in Barbagallo and Adelaide?
Well, Barbagallo, I had a bad quality because, as you know, I had a new rig, so I had to get used to it, and I also got caught in the the start crash. Adelaide, I just messed up, to be honest, so it was my own fault, and after that, I think it went pretty good since then.
Well, congratulations to you. You got pole position at the last event, almost got pole here, of course, and you've got that wonderful race win. I mean, fending off Jesper Tarborg by 8 seconds. I mean, nobody's managed to do that so far this season since round 3. So that's a superb performance there from you, William, and we look forward to you driving the rest of the season here. Of course, the championship is not that much of a long shot, of course. One bit of trouble for Jesper Tarborg, and you'll be right there.
Yeah, well, it has to happen, though.
It does have to happen, unfortunately, because the points are so close, and Jesper's been so good this season so far. Thank you to William for joining us.
Thanks.
And Jesper Tarborg, only 2nd place today, but I'm pretty sure you'd be fairly pleased with that. A little bit disappointed, but not too unhappy.
No, I'm quite happy. You can't always win.
Can't always win, that's absolutely... It's another podium for you. I think you've been in the podium every race so far this season, and you're putting together a very strong championship challenge.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't know what to say? And Jesper Tarborg, not for the first time, talkative. Did you have any answer at all today for William?
No, he was too good on his tires, and I made quite a few mistakes here and there.
And of course, the pit stop didn't go, you know, perfectly well for you. William managed to pull out 3 seconds in that pit stop, and must have been frustrating for you. But thank you for joining us, Jesper, and your few words as usual. And hopefully you'll challenge once again in the next event. Of course, hard work to do that. Again, we go to a very similar track, of course, much bumpier track at Simmons Plains. So it will be the first time this season we actually go from tracks to track that are very similar. So good luck for that. And we've not been joined by the other podium sitter here, Kevin Brent. We have been joined by the driver who almost got that podium, Francisco Villar.
Exactly. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you after that race? It was exciting for you.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was a pity that in the beginning I lost out to Toby Davis, because I felt that I could have gone maybe with Tarborg in the first stint. Then the deciding moment of the race for me was the pit stop. I lost 5 seconds there because I thought the exit of the pits was on the lights, and it turns out to be on the cones. So I was at 39 k's per hour when I should have been already a lot faster.
Yeah, we noticed that in the broadcast. We saw that was definitely where you lost that time, and the dangers of not reading the briefing, Francisco? Terrible. Anyway, moving on to the race for you. I mean, as you say, you got stuck behind Toby early on and managed to get past in the end, and you stuck right with Tarborg and Levesque up until the final 2 or 3 laps in that first stint, and you must have been very disappointed by that pit stop, of course. But I mean, in the second stint, you seem to not quite have the pace of the first stint. Why was that?
I don't know, to be honest. I think I was a lot more focused in the first stint. Maybe I lost a bit of this focus in the second stint because Kevin Brent was putting me under pressure, and in the first stint, no one was putting me under pressure. And then that was it. In the last lap, Brent's tires were a lot better than mine. So I tried to slow the car on the first corner because my front left was gone. So I tried to stop the car a bit more, and he tapped the back of my car, and it was enough for him to dive inside.
So we saw that on broadcast also. Well, I mean, how did you think that was an unfair move, or did you think it was just part of racing? You're just on the inside and not quite able to avoid you?
No, to be honest, it was not like a big hit. So it was probably a smart move. I don't know if it was a
racing driver's move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a great battle. I mean, you must have enjoyed that battle as well.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
So yeah, we're going to just get a quick word from one of the driver here today, and we're going to get a quick word with Toby, not because of his race, but and talk about the THR team. It's just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, it was nearly a 1, 2, 3, 4 today, and Kevin got in the way a little bit of that, but yeah, it's been an excellent result today, and you can just have to see where we go from here. I mean, William did an excellent job today, and probably for the second time this season, actually, he's done an excellent job. So watch out for him in the second part of the championship. And obviously, yes, we had a good drive. Francisco nearly got a podium right up to the finish, and one or two other drivers. We got James Johnson, Chris Butcher. They both, I think they both got top 10, 7th and 8th was it? I think so. Yeah, so that's what is that? That's 6 drivers in the top 10. It's pretty good going.
It's really superb, and of course it's not just that THR only drive in the Touring Pro Series, and therefore that's why they're in the top 10. It's because the preparation and the talent, of course, of drivers. We've seen plenty of teams come in and not be able to challenge the supremacy of THR, but this season must have been not beyond your wildest dreams, Toby, but gone much better than you anticipated for the team.
But, yeah, I mean, on a personal level as well, it's been a lot better than I anticipated, just for myself, but. William and Jesper have been carrying the respective THR Orange and THR Red teams so far. It's up to me and Chris to do something a bit more in the next couple of rounds. Obviously, I didn't quite have the pace today, and Chris had a couple of incidents early on, so it's a shame for him. But yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely superb, and I believe we moved to the top of the team championship now as a result.
Just about to say, yeah. Maybe THR Orange will now lead the championship with.
THR Red are probably closing right up on 360 now as well. So
absolutely, and 360 having uncharacteristic poor races in the last few rounds, and THR Orange look like they're going for their second TPS championship. So well done to all the drivers today. Thank you to all of you for entertaining us, of course, on the track, and we'll see you in 3 weeks' time, of course, at Simmons Plains. We'll also see the viewers, of course. Thank you for watching. In 3 weeks' time at Simmons Plains. That's the 28th of July. Very similar track here to here. Very fast, very short track. I'm looking forward to that as well. It's in fact the first time Simmons Plains will be used in the Touring Pro Series, so look out for that. And just a few words to sum the event up, Ivo.
Yeah, Levick moved away quite, but I was surprised by that. The back was the gap was quite big, but. Was a good racing like Pukekohe always is. So, and we'll see what the future Simmons Plain can bring for us. It's, like you said, the same track. So it's also a fun track. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. I mean, who can stop the THR Juggernaut?
Yeah. I really hope THF 360 Racing is back the next round full with Schlemo, who has neck problems and with an injury, and Strauss having problems with his pedals and his wheel, and the incident today. I hope they can get back and challenge THR now.
So, because Schlemo missed this event because he's got a neck injury, can't even sit up, unfortunately. So we wish him. And so he gets well soon. Of course, he was runner-up last season, and this season struggling a little bit more. So thank you to everyone for watching. Of course, thank you to GamePod, thank you to Inside Sim Racing for hosting our forums. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Touring_Pro, Facebook.com/TouringProSeries, and YouTube.com/TouringProSeries, as you can see there on the screen. And of course, thank you to SimSync for providing, of course, all the download software for us. Thank you to MultiBC and SimSports for providing the broadcast here today. Thank you to The Lonely for creating the track that we raced on here today, and thank you, of course, to ORSM for producing this wonderful mod for us to drive around on this track with. And of course, thank you to all the drivers for making this so special, and of course it would be less special, of course, without all you viewers out there watching. And of course we'll see you all in 3 weeks' time at Simmons Plains.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing, puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.